get with this, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy OlliWooDDA here with another Married at First Sight episode recap, review, reaction, whatever you want to call it. So we jumping right into things. I've been out for a couple of weeks as far as this Married at First Sight. I said I was gonna do week to week, but for real, man, it was just a struggle. Lifetime, shout out to y'all because y'all making out money. Y'all got these 2-hour episodes. We going like to 2 weeks, 2-hour episodes, but 2 weeks to do these weddings. Then we got the morning after, and now we're finally to the honeymoon. Now after the honeymoon, this is when it picks up. So if you ever watched Married at First Sight, if you're new to this series, new to this programming, don't judge it off the first couple of weeks, cause oh god, it's long. They draw it out, but they got 2 hours to fill. They're selling that commercial space. And like I said, money, dollar bill, y'all. So we just gonna jump right into it. I wasn't gonna jump it off with Elisa and Chris, because I mean that's where the drama is. That's where everybody wants to go to. But actually, I'm gonna jump it off with who I think is the most interesting couple right now: Mark the Shark and Lindsey. So they wake up in the morning. They're at the hotel or what have you, going over breakfast, and basically Mark was like, "Oh, you need to chill on this drinking." She was like, "Oh, what we don't do today? The activity for today was to go make pina coladas." He was like, "Yo, like, we can drink, but let's just space it out throughout the day." So basically, it was going back to the confrontation she had with Elijah Wan on the plane. It's all came out. It's crazy because if shout out to all my Reddit folks. But on Reddit, even after all the information came out, which was she was poking at Elijah Wan the whole flight. They just met. They don't know each other. They just met. She's making jokes. They get on the plane. She's still just going and going. She's drunk, which was confirmed today. She's drunk. The stewardess on the plane had to come tell her to tone it down a couple of times, put on your mask and all that. And she definitely cried those tears. Ooh. Don't take this the wrong way, but she dropped those white woman tears, last episode. So trying to make it like Elijah Wan was the aggressor. And I said shout out to my Reddit folks. Because even after all the information came out on the after show, it was still people, a lot of people, I ain't just say it was like most people. It was probably about 40%. It was still like 60-40. 40% was still trying to put this on Elijah Wan when basically it all came out. But, people just don't like Elijah Wan because he is, Elijah Wan is a character. So you either don't like him or you're not going to like him. And most people are not going to like Elijah Wan. But Mark was basically like, let's chill on the drinking. He said, I
was really tired. We had 3 bottles of wine. And I think that was like not much.
Listen to that. He said, you had 3 bottles of wine. Not 1, not 2, 3 of them things, yo. Three bottles of wine. So you already know she was done, so they want to calm down. And honestly, and I said it before, I don't think Lindsey is a bad person inside, like deep down or what have you. You know what I'm saying? She's definitely not the type of person I could be around for long periods of time. She's like a fun hang, day-to-day action. Nah, she would, scuff my Timbs, as they say. If you were from New York, she scuffs my Timbs. So, they go through the pina colada, they do their activity, they have a little fun, and it comes out. Basically, Mark said he had an ex, his first love. I shouldn't do quotations because she was his first love. But he mentioned that when she drank, she was a different person. So I'm sure Mark is seeing these red flags right now and thinking, do I want to go through this again? because at this point he's just spending more time just apologizing to the other couples. Let's just he wants to just you bring it back, as he said. When shit's going down, sometimes you can just walk away or what have you. Just bring it back, reel it in. You got to recognize. So uh, they go on the boat trip, and her and Katina get into it again, and I understand where Katina was coming from.
Okay, so I know you spoke to my husband. I'm not like him. You were just saying on the plane you were I was triggered because what happened to me, I don't care what happened to you when you were 2, 3, 4 years old. You were 35 years old. Seek the help you need to get over it. And when you get liquor, don't cast that on other people. You're way too old for that. Secondly, maybe he wouldn't have had that reaction if you didn't keep jabbing. It's like you poke people. You're like, I'm not touching you. You're like 5 years old. And then when you get a reaction, you play victim so much. You're manipulative.
Honestly, I mean, Lindsey started just talking. At first, I mean, Katina was trying to keep it cool. And then she started going into the incident that happened, and she used like definitely some wrong words. She said she was triggered off a past relationship and this and that, but she kept saying she was triggered. And Katina basically was like, "Yo, regardless of what happened in the past, like you're 35 years old now. You got to accept responsibility." She was like, basically, go get some counseling. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's time to move on from that. And I'm not gonna say anybody can move on from past trauma. It don't matter how old you are. Like if it's been happening, if it happened for some years before, it's not like you don't go to counseling like it's over. But to say that you were triggered when you were the aggressor and it's been proven you were the aggressor, you even sent Olajuwon a DM apologizing because you know deep down you were the aggressor. You can't be pulling words like, "Oh, I was triggered and this and that," because you were the aggressor. You can't punch somebody in the face and they punch you back all of a sudden and be like, "Oh, play the victim role." You know what I'm saying? Again, she was ready to cry them tears of the oppressor. But and no, and I don't even want to make this like it's some tears of the oppressor black white thing. I mean, it's women, men, black, white, Chinese, African, English, whoever, Mexican. If you that type of person, as far as I shouldn't say that type of person. I don't know what the word is. Fuck it. If you're that type of person that likes to play the victim, or even if you don't like to play the victim, but you do play the victim from whatever happened in your past, I mean, that's not right regardless. So it is what it is. By the end of the episode, her market, he was basically, you could tell her she's wearing on him. Like, I think Mark, he definitely likes her. Uh, you know, she brings out a good side of him. I mean, like you said, I mean she's fun to be with. But like he said, he was like, you never know, like a boring day with her, you might just be like, thank God, boring day, no drama, or is it just gonna be boring? But with her, the hard note is always on 100, always on 100. But I think a lot of this might be alcohol related. I mean, I'm not saying like she's a drunkard or anything of that nature, but a lot of it might be just, when she drinks, she's a little excessive. She's already on 100. She's on 100 out the gate. When she wake up in the morning before she brushes her teeth, her foot is already on the gas. So you add a little drinks and that to that situation. You put a little gas in them flames, and it's gonna be from 100 to 1,000. You know what I'm saying? 0 to 100 real quick. Now she 0 to 1,000 real quick. So by the end of the episode, she's upset because he planned a romantic dinner. In her eyes, a romantic dinner. Well, I mean, his eyes, romantic. I do feel on that. Like, you can't be like, you planned a romantic dinner just to come down here and start shitting on me. But at the same time, it needed to be said. I mean, he said it before. It doesn't seem like she's pulling it all in. But he's like, yo, we argument here, argument there, argument there. At some point, no person, nobody, man, woman, with if the dude, every time you go out with this dude, y'all go out, he's arguing, ready to fight somebody in the bar or whatever. Like nobody wants that stress that I have to. You almost feel like you're babysitting, and nobody wants that in a relationship. So we'll see how it plays. You know what I'm saying, Lindsay? You got to get your act together. Hopefully she'll. I mean, after she sees this show, and it was funny because she was like, after people see the show, I hope you realize whatever. Katina's like, yo, this ain't no show. I don't need to see the show. I'm looking at you right now. We dealing with you right now, this second, this instant, and you are definitely playing this victim role to the fullest. So we'll see how it plays. And just we can lead into Katina and Elijah. Katina and Elijah. Elijah, man. Elijah. I want to like you, man. Honestly, I'm on your side more than most. I think he might actually want to make this marriage work. I don't do spoilers and all that, so I don't know what's happening right now in the future world. In the present. Present for me is this episode number 5, a lifetime 8 to 10. So it seems like he really wants to make it work. I think he. How can I say this? I think he's sincere. It doesn't come off sincere, so to speak, because he's definitely.
She smiles right when she sees me. I think she naturally does that. She doesn't even realize it. And she smiles every time she opens her eyes and she looks at me. I think she's enjoying our moment of just waking up. I think she's trying to cherish this whole honeymoon, even little key details. And
the world revolves around him. So he says things like, yo, when she looks at me, she smiles. Like every time she looks at me, she smiles. She's glowing. He's like, that makes me happy. And I understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say like he loves that, you know what I'm saying, that they have a connection, or at least they're attracted, they're into each other right now. But the way he words it, where it's just about him, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a rocky road. When they was working out, how he was acting, and then later on he tried to clean it up. I mean, well, he didn't clean it up with her, which I thought was odd. Maybe they did it off camera, but he cleaned it up with the fellas. He was like, "Yeah, I made her do an exercise. I knew she wouldn't like to see if she would like not just put her." As my boy Chris Rock used to say, when you go on a date with your representative, I think it was Chris Rock. Well, we just don't roll with it. It was Chris Rock. Put your representative out there right now, like, oh, the representative is just like, either I don't like it or not. We on these couple of first dates. I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, that's great. But he wanted to see if she was gonna fight back. I mean, she did fight back, but not too much. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, why are you putting somebody through tests? I hate that, man. If you're dating somebody or what have you, I mean, fuck it. I mean, they're actually married. Why are you doing tests? Like, oh, bro, like, that is so whack. You don't do tests. I mean, if you want her to say how she feels or whatever, you ask her how she feeling. Do you not like this? Do you not appreciate this or what have you? Let her respond. But doing these little fake tests and this and that, I'm gonna see what she's really like and that's whack as shit. So Elijah killing me, bro. And then once they did the have I never the game where you know what you do the fingers. Have I never you did the
I messed with her mom and her daughter.
He got it all into the he got his boy Isaac's pass. I guess he tries to play like they're two different people. You can't do that. That's another thing, bro. You keep trying to play this off like I'm a whole different person. No, you're not a whole different person. You can't be Isaac for 20 years of your life and then all of a sudden just I'm gonna turn it off. That shit don't happen. You know what I'm saying? All that shit you did makes you who you are right now. Now you can change. I'm not saying you can't change. You can change, but just to act like it's a whole different person. No, it's not a whole different person. That's you. That's you. The foundation has been laid, and it's up to you to change it up. You know what I'm saying? Put in the work to change it up. You can't just wake up one morning and be like, I'm healed. You know what I'm saying? That's like no, no Christian groups try to pray for gay people like I healed. They be like, I don't want men's no more. Like, nah, bro, like that shit don't happen. Like you are who you are. And again, uh not the the gay stuff like you can just change on that. That's a whole that's if you are that, you are that. I'm not want to be like who you like, love who you love, fuck who you want to fuck. I don't care. So, but not going there. But I'm saying, as far as this Playboy image and what have you, is you can't just snap it off. It's going to be work. It's going to be work. It's not going to be like, oh, I got married at first sight. Since I put this ring on, all of a sudden that's gone. No, it's work involved to change you as a person, and you can't just dismiss that past like it never happened because it definitely did happen. Which is why you're gonna have to put in work to change who you are today. And let's keep going. Now, I guess we're gonna get into it. What everybody, the interwebs is talking about. Your girl, Alyssa, and Chris, man. Alyssa and Chris. So, I mean, Chris is definitely a lot more accommodating than what I would be. But I think a lot of that's because he's on this show. I mean, let's be honest. If they weren't on the show, this would be over. I mean, Alyssa would have ended it. I mean, even if she ended, I think Chris would be like, yo, what the fuck? But he's trying to do his thing. He's like, we're married. Let's put our best foot forward. They did the paddleboarding, everything. Actually, doing that, I was like, all right. I mean, not so much they don't stay together. I was just thinking like that can be cordial throughout the show. Like, let's go ahead, film these segments we got to film. We don't have to be in love or anything of that nature, but we can film these segments. We can be friends at least. I mean, it's already been established they're not going to be more than friends, so let's just be friends. You know what I'm saying? Let's pound it out and have some fun. But, ooh, of course, that didn't last long. They get to this. He goes scuba diving. I don't even know. It's not official, but they had the thing we can breathe. I've been scuba diving before. Scuba diving is off the chain, yo. Anybody gets a chance to do it, definitely do it. And you know what's funny is my better half, she doesn't get down with all that type stuff. So I went scuba diving by myself, and it was not a problem. She did her thing. I went scuba diving. Was down in the deep blue seas, seeing all types of coral and this and that. Had the mask on, had to do the class and all that. But I enjoyed myself. She enjoyed herself doing what she likes. She likes to read and be on the beach. She was reading. We did it. We came back together. Ah, beautiful. But of course, Alyssa had to make it a whole thing.
What happened?
I called her and I was like, I don't want to go swimming with him. I was like, that's not an activity and I don't feel comfortable doing it. Like, paddleboarding is different.
Yeah.
Like, it's an activity. I don't have to be next to him. Like, that's different. And she was like, who cares, Elizabeth? Just do it. Like, who cares? And she's like, keeps saying to me, like, you don't want to come off a certain way on TV. I'm like, I have literally been the nicest person to literally everyone. And she's like, you're being difficult.
She was like, I called my mom. My mom said just to try and do this and do that. But this I'm gonna tell you from the jump. I seen it once. I seen her parents or her mom. I mean, she's older, and it's not a knock on her mom as far as you know what I'm saying. But her mom's an older woman, and I guess if when you have kids and you older, it's almost. I know some people that got old parents that the parents was like way older than us, than my parents and my friends' parents. Like their parents was like way older. It was like that age gap. When you're older, it's not. I don't want to say they treat you like a grandchild, but it's almost you get the grandchild treatment. You get a lot of what when we ask for something, they give it to you. Because guess what? When you old, you really don't feel like fucking with. They old, man. I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm not trying to deal with this teenage shit, angst, and be yelling and going back and forth. I'm supposed to be retired right now in Miami. I'm supposed to be on the beach somewhere. Just leave me the fuck alone. So if you want something, I'm just gonna give it to you. As long as you ain't out here robbing, murdering nobody, I don't care. Like, so a lot of people with old parents, think about your friends. If you got any friends with old parents, a lot of people over, they're spoiled, and it's that's just what it is, yo. I mean, I'm older with a couple of young kids, and I can tell you now, sometimes I'm like, just do what you want to do. So I can't imagine what they were like. So I think that's what a lot of it is. I mean, she's spoiled. She tried to clown my boy Chris. She was like, "Oh, the first time I saw his shirt off, it wasn't what I was expecting." I'm like, bruh. I mean, I don't want to be one to. My bad. Let me fix my screen. Screen been all fucked up this whole time. It don't matter. But I ain't one to body shame and all that. But bruh, come on, lady. Like you are not. I think in her head, somebody must have told her she was beautiful, yo. And shout out to them, yo. And I mean, they told her she was beautiful like every day, every day. Sometimes she was like 2 years old. Sometimes she was like 25. Like you was a dime. I mean, I got the weight on me. I'm an old man. I mean, I ain't like no spring chicken myself, but like, come on. You know, she was out there looking halfway pregnant. Like that's why I was like, yo, what the hell? Like I ain't she's skinny fat. She definitely skinny fat. She got the joint down here. She got the little skinny fat stomach and all that, no ass. And I mean, it is what it is. So for her to be judging people as hard as she's judging people is ridiculous to me. And when she started crying and this and that, my man just came back from scuba diving. He just walking in like, whoo whoo, I had me a little bit of fun, you know, or what have you. She hit, don't let him come over here. Tell him to stay over there. I'm sure he was like, what the fuck? Like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. You said you didn't want to come. You left. Whatever. I'm just coming back in here to check you out. And if he didn't come back, there would have been a problem probably for her. Then she would probably be like, he didn't even come back in here and see how I was doing. It's like Alyssa is fucking trash. And you know how you know she's trash because she keeps saying I'm a good person. Like good people don't have to say I'm a good person every 5 minutes. I'm a good person. I'm doing this or whatever. I'm treating them so well. I'm a good person. I'm doing this. So like, if you're a good person, you're a good person. You don't need to keep telling me you're a good person. Like, we will see you are a good person. So I mean, let's just face it. She's trash. Chris. I mean, I think he already knows what it is, but he's just gonna ride it out. He's like, I'm on this show. I'm about to ride it out. I know, at least trying to make myself look decent, make myself look good, so to speak. And she's gonna look how she's gonna look. She's when people see this, they'll see I'm a good person. Nah, I know it's funny because I'm sure in her head she had one thought of how the show was gonna turn out, as far as even after all this, like I don't want to be with him, like how she thinks she's looking. But that's just again her own delusion. She's a dime. But let's be real, yo. If she was the dime she thinks she is and the great person she thinks she is on top of that, she wouldn't be on this show. She wouldn't need experts. I mean, I use that term loosely. But she would need producers. Let's just be real. She would need a television producers to find somebody for her to marry at first sight. And I mean, I'm sure they looked at her like TV gold. And they set Chris up, which is crazy, but that's just what they do. Look, they don't get these ratings to set your boy Chris up, to set her up. You know what I'm saying? They said, oh, you want somebody with an eagle tattoo? We got the perfect person for you. And that's it. Shout out to Alyssa and her psychic, yo. Her psychic didn't see this one coming. Go get your refund, girl. Go get your refund. Who else? We got Jasmina and Michael. Bruh. This dude, Michael. He just trying to sabotage this shit. Look, they done set him up, yo. They gave him the ooh. Cause Jasmina fine, she fly. I mean, she got her own without, I wouldn't say issues, but I mean, it does scare me. She said all her relationships have been long distance, and she does like on the K-pop, the K this, the K-drama. Like she definitely tries at sometimes puts off the I'm a different girl, like I'm different type of deal. But just in general, I mean, she seems like a nice person. And your boy Mike, just, I mean, he's really all in his head. I mean, that was the whole episode. This, I can't even talk. This whole episode was about how he's all in his head, thinking negative. And he went through why he thinks that, and definitely understandable. He said he lost his brother at a young age. He lost his pops. He lost his mom. He lost his grandmother. He lost friends. So you could definitely see where he's coming from as far as like, let me just put some tempt these expectations. Let me lower my expectations down a little bit so I'm not disappointed. How she handled that conversation to me really wasn't the best. She was like, "Well, oh yeah, I can see why you feel that way, but some people just take that and be like, let me live life to the fullest." I mean, I think at that point when he was saying that, she should have been a little bit more understanding, and then just framed it as like, well, you know what I'm saying, you could take those, you know what I'm saying, take those bad events or what have you, and let life is fragile. Like you never know. Yo, I could walk outside tomorrow, get hit by a bus. So you should live every day to the fullest. And just saying like, well, if you, it almost came off. She was like, well, if you was really cool, like some people, if you was the good people I want to date, you would just take your life to the fullest. But it wasn't that bad, so I shouldn't say it. It just came off that way to me. But I mean, people tell me I'm a pessimist too, so I probably wouldn't want to hear that. Even though I need to hear it, I mean, I do hear it all the time. So, uh, but just in general though, Mike, he definitely is still in his head though, because I understand what she's saying. Like, I mean, beyond that part, just the breakfast before that, he was like, "Well, we had that conversation. Like, we need." She's like, "Yo, bro, we just got married. We chilling. Like, calm down, bro. Like, no, I mean, of course, we gonna have to get deeper into this, but calm. Like, this, we just got here. Like, let's fill each other out a little bit." But he's he's definitely on one. And then with the whole she cut me off. Of course, they did the replay.
Anybody consummated their marriage? Well, we haven't. We haven't yet. I mean, it's only been, what, 3 days since we got married?
I'm just someone that wants to have an emotional connection with somebody first.
Yeah.
Classic Married at First Sight, and she definitely didn't cut him off. And even if she did, like for him to be like carrying that all day and be like, and and how can I say? But even for him to feel that she cut him off when it was obviously, at least to me, she didn't cut him off. I mean, she just said he spoke. It was a pause. She spoke. So he didn't. She didn't cut him off. It wasn't even a one-on-one talk because I'm bad with that. Sometimes I do pause and my better half will speak. I'm like, well, hold on, let me finish. But I do have the pauses, so I understand why she can jump in. Um, just in a group setting, everybody's just talking this and that. Just to feel that way already lets you know he got some other stuff going on in his head, man. So, and then the whole apology stuff, like I will say, I do feel him on. I don't like that even when people say, "I'm sorry for making you feel that way," because to me that's not a real apology. But at the same time, if they don't feel that they did something wrong, I can see why they worded that way. But honestly, I just rather them just say like I didn't fuck up, which she did say. He said he got little hot headed, and then when he was like, "Well, I'll accept your apology," and she looked at him like, "What?" But I feel her on that too, because that was just like some shit like, "Oh, let me just say this so I don't look bad," type of deal. But just in general, though, if he thinks that's getting cut off, I hate. Sorry for you, bro. Like, ooh, I don't know how many women you dealt with in your life. That's, but it's gonna be a whole lot worse. That was the most polite, best quote unquote, she cut me off I've ever seen. Because when y'all really get into it, she tell you, your mama ain't shit. You got a little dick and this and that. You gonna really be upset as far as argument because women cut low. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but let's go into the next thing. My wife never told me that. Let me stop. She would whip my ass, literally. So let's get to the last couple. Steve and Noe. Steve and Noe. Noe. Nice. Noe. Nice. They're together. I mean, they really don't have nothing going on. I think this is more production type deal, just trying to give them some drama or what have you during. Because I mean, they're pretty much floating along nicely as far as the. She said, "I have like strong feelings and fall in love." And she was like, I mean, I'm with Steve on this one. Like, it's been 3 days. Like, calm down. Of course, we can have some strong feelings and this and that, but it's 3 days. I'm not gonna be telling you how much I love you. I mean, I don't know if I love you. I don't love you. It's 3 days. I don't know anything about you. I mean, just in the conversation they had at the breakfast when he was saying we could go camp on the beach, and she was like, "Nah." He was like, "Well," and he was like, "You just do it once." She was like, "Nah, as long as camping involves me waking up in some shelter in a house on the beach, a house with a pool, hot tub, showers, and all that, full kitchen. I mean, that's not really camping, no way. Just so you understand, that's not really camping. Um, that is what we call renting a beach house. So, but they already have differences. So, of course, I can see why he isn't just jumping in. Or go. I mean, they obviously like each other. So this is all stuff. I think like this is more production drama than anything. What else did Stephen Noe talk about? Stephen Noe, nice. That's it. Oh yeah, the cheating thing. Everybody always does this cheating thing. Like, oh, you cheated. Like all y'all in your 30s. I mean, I'm not saying everybody cheats in their like teens and 20s, but a lot of people. These people that come on this show, I'm like, yo, for y'all not to have to need help getting a wife, a husband, a mate, or what have you, y'all are some perfect souls. Cause I mean, in your 20s, early 20s, this and that. I'm not saying again like everybody cheats or what have you, but it's going down. Like let's just say it's going down. Unless you was like in some like already married early on, just dating during those times. You know how that goes, man. Come on, man. I hate when they do that on this show. And guess what? You realize you learn from your mistakes and you move on. And in the next relationship, you know how to handle it better. So it is. They always bring up that cheating shit, and I always be like, whatever, whatever. But as long as they won't cheating, like you just cheated on the previous relationship, like that would be something I'd be like, all right, I might look at you a little sideways just then, like, I just came on Married at First Sight. Because half of them always, for real, most of them just getting out of relationships. They be like, I just broke up with my boyfriend 2 weeks ago. I broke up with my girlfriend the day I got the call to say I'm on the show. Basically, it's like those type, if they've been cheating, like, okay, you got a real argument. But that's pretty much it. Married at First Sight. Next week, they'll wrap up these honeymoons. Another 2 hours of honeymoon time. We'll see what other drama they can find to fill out this 2 hours. But right now, it's not looking good. Honestly, if I had to pick who's going to stay together, because I think Elijah's going to wear down on Katina. I mean, I think the only people in a good space right now is Katina and Elijah and Stephen Noe. But I already can see Elijah. He a lot. So really, Stephen Noe, I think they're the only ones with even a remote chance of making it through this, staying together. So we'll see. Maybe production might slide somebody a couple of dollars, be like, yo, just stay together. Wait on decision day. slide you a couple of, we'll throw you extra 10, 20 G's. Just say yes on decision day and we'll work it out. But thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Who's going to stay together? Who's going to break up? Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? Yo, let me know in the comments. And definitely share, like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep this marriage with At First Sight going. More likely, we don't definitely try to keep it on a week-to-week basis now that we're into the good parts. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Peace. This is it.
This, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that.